Howdy. What a great lineup we have this month, but just before we start, I'm Bell from AbsinthTears Gaming. Please feel free to bag yourself some Abs Gaming merchandise from our link in the description. It all helps to support and expand the channel. Right, here are this month's free PlayStation Plus games for March 2021. A little later than normal. Go! First PS4 free games is a remake and breathes new life into what is a true JRPG classic from my childhood, originally on the PS1, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Has a platinum difficulty of 5 out of 10, approximate time to platinum over 60 hours plus, with 2 playthroughs, one of which on hard mode, which unlocks the first time on completing it. Where to start with Final Fantasy VII Remake. First, I'll mention the game is more so a complete reinvention in comparison to the original classic from 1977. No more turn-based, it swaps turn-based combat with exciting real-time action and expands the first leg of its original story by plenty of additional hours. The game only covers the events that take place in the city of Midgar, where Cloud Strife and his freedom-fighting allies battle the evil Shinra Corporation run it. Now personally, I haven't tried the remake. In fact, as soon as Final Fantasy stopped the whole turn-based combat thing, I kinda stopped playing. However, the way that the iconic system has been transferred into real-time brawling is exceptional. And though you only directly control one character at a time, you'll constantly be giving orders and swapping between 2 or more mid-fight. While you can hack away at the enemies all you want with the square button, which isn't going to get you very far, doing so charges up your active time battle bars, which you can then use on unique weapon abilities, equipable spells and items. Pulling up the command menu to pick one of these things slows down time, letting you pick actions for your entire party in the middle of the combat. Persistent, slow creeping forward of time is like that of the frantic decision making in the classic original Final Fantasy VII. There is a classic mode in the difficulty options, but all it does is automate all your actions in combat apart from the active time battle bars. It kinda takes all the fun out of the game. The enemies now have a stagger gauge that stuns them and increases the damage that they take when it is full. It's a system we're seeing more and more nowadays, but the clever twist is that every enemy's stagger gauge fills in a different way. It's your job to work out a pattern of how to take down the different types of enemies. Final Fantasy VII Remake does come with a lot of extra padding that has been added to the game. Most of the extra padding make the game a bit dull in places. Not to worry though, as Final Fantasy VII Remake you get a whopping great 8 out of 10 and is definitely one to revisit and play. Remnant from Ashes is our second PS4 game. Platinum difficulty 4 out of 10, approximate time to platinum is over 50 to 75 hours with one playthrough with rerolls on adventure runs. Are you a Dark Souls fan? Instead of wooden blades and hammers, would you swap those weapons for more ranged based guns in a post-apocalyptic world? Do you like games which demand a lot from you and offer you very little in return? If so, I look forward to this one. The game has high stakes with randomised progression system which brings moments of pure blissful excitement, especially if playing in co-op. But its frequent difficulty spikes and underwhelming gear system can make you feel like you've been slightly robbed on a tough but fair feeling that the Dark Souls games. Built in with 3 fighters across randomly generated maps and slay boss monsters in the hopes of earning extremely rare loot. Visually, Remnant's environments are grotesquely stunning, each zone has beauty of all of its own, also leaning into dark twisted vision of the world. Nothing is ever too predictable. Things are particularly intense, sometimes Remnant will decide to crank things up to 11 or 12 on the Gerd scale and spawn a swarm of small enemies and a mini-boss or 2 and try and overwhelm you. Combat is absolutely fantastic. Everything has a satisfying weight behind it, whether it's the swinging a heavy hammer down to smash through your enemies, or switching to a shotgun and blowing off their heads. Then dodge rolling out of the way of a charging group is kind of the intensity you can expect from the standard enemy encounter. No such thing in this game as a block button, so dodge rolling and stamina management is crucial. So getting into a rhythm is super important and satisfying when you execute it off well. Remnant from Ashes is a solid game that offers one of the best, most rewarding cooperative experiences in quite some time, as long as you have a hint of desire to challenge and punish yourself over and over. A beautiful, deranged vision of apocalypse overflowing with twisted creatures helping and making you suffer. Yet again, another whopping great 8 out of 10. Our PS5 review is a brand new puzzle type game named Maquette. Platinum difficulty is unknown. Approximate time to platinum again, sorry no info since the game is set to release on the 2nd of March with PlayStation Plus. Coming in gorgeously first person recursive indie puzzle game that takes you into a world where every building, plant and object are simultaneously tiny yet staggeringly huge. Sounds a bit Alice in Wonderland if you ask me. Maquette is a first person puzzle game where the world mirrors the love story and relationship between Kenzie and Michael, who are the narrative characters. The environment works in the same way as nesting dolls. Any building, crack in the ground, rock, plant or object as a miniature and massive counterpart in the world of Maquette. It's up to you to find out how to manipulate the world to solve the puzzles. The game takes place over 7 chapters, the first one being the garden, where it is a quiet and tranquil area to walk through as these faces pop up setting the story. Once you reach the next chapter, the puzzle work begins, and as the story progresses, more places are unlocked and so forth. Lastly, we have Farpoint for the PSVR. As a platinum difficulty of 7.5 out of 10, approximate time to platinum over 30 hours. Master an arsenal of weapons to keep yourself alive on a hostile alien world in its free roaming first person PSVR shooter. What makes Farpoint noteworthy is the phenomenal feel of its gunplay. There is deeply satisfying rhythm to handling these guns, and you'll see their intricate moving parts clicking and sliding as you empty their chambers. Tap the reload button and visibly tip the aim controller up and back towards your shoulder to swap back and forth between your 2 equipped guns. But the highlight is Heffin's surprisingly light aim controller. Up to your face and closing one eye to line up your weapon's sights. It's all so natural. Bearing in mind you can use your dual shot controller, it's just very clumsy. The precision rifle and shotgun are the perfect combo, perfectly complementing one another as you snipe distant jetpack wearing aliens and pull your shotgun out and panic when leaping spiders leap out in front of you. Farpoint's campaign will be very short because it's only 5 hours. However, a handful of bonus modes, including 2-player online co-op missions and core arcade-style challenge levels, complete with league mods, keep things interesting even after you've wrapped up all the main missions. Co-op missions are unique and challenging with multiple difficulty levels and successful waves of enemies that keep you on your toes, even with a partner. There will be some hectic moments where one player dies and the other one has to scramble to either get the revive or finish the encounter solo, creating some intense fight or flight sensations. Farpoint gets a good 7.5 out of 10. Don't forget, as I mentioned last month, Destruction Allstars dazzle crowds with creative chaos as you run, ram and slam in vehicular combat. Destruction Allstars is available in its 2nd month up until the 5th of April. Take to the arena to partake in controlled car crunching mayhem and parkour thrills with this supercharged multiplayer title. Master the unique abilities of 16 superstar competitors to come out on top across 4 game modes against other players online for the PS5. Okay, so all 4 PlayStation games will be available from PS Plus on Tuesday the 2nd of March. Remember, you only have a few days left to bag yourself February's PS Plus game titles, or at least add them to your PlayStation library so you don't lose them forever. Control Ultimate Edition and Concrete Genie for the PS4. Also, Destruction Allstars, which is still running this month until April. Both of these games will be available until midnight on the 1st of March 2021. So as always, what's your thoughts on this month's free PlayStation Plus games? Don't forget to show your support by slapping that thumbs up button, visiting my new AbsinthTears merch swag shop, which I'll be adding more of my own artwork this month, subscribing, hitting that bell icon or sharing across social media if you haven't already. I'm Bell from AbsinthTears Gaming, aka AbsinthTears. See you later. Go!